Hey, what's going on, fam? This is Jay Cameron inviting you to join us in Ethiopia next March 2025. And this is going to be an iconic trip that you don't want to miss, a trip of a lifetime. We're going to be visiting Addis Ababa, Gondor, Lalibela. You'll have a chance to taste the amazing Ethiopian food. You'll also have a chance to visit the Rastafarian community. You'll get the history, you'll get the fashion, you have an opportunity to shop. It's going to be a trip, an experience of a lifetime. So make sure you sign up to join us in Ethiopia, March 2025.
Peace, family. My name is Vicki Dillard for African Diaspora News Channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to give the video a big thumbs up, and share the broadcast. Let everybody know we're here. When you do that, you help to notify more of our people. And how many of you all know that we need to spread this message to as many people as possible, because not everybody is speaking for the interest of the Black diaspora. Thank you so very much, family. You all know that we have been doing so much coverage concerning the Sahil, of course, the diaspora all over the world, as much as possible. But certainly we know that the Sahil countries like Mali and Burkina Faso have certainly set the world on fire, of course, others, but they in particular have been really a target lately. And of course, I'm going to continue to discuss some of the other countries there and throughout the continent. But family, I wanted to discuss this, to be honest, a couple of months back, but now is the appointed time for me to discuss this. So much has been going on in my life, so I'm pleased now to be back on track. But I was reading this piece from the APA News out of what I believe is one of the Senegal networks. Family, I want you to listen to a little bit of this. You all know that some of these Sahel countries have been so successful in beating the brakes off of France and kicking them out of their country. We know that they have refused to leave, kicking and screaming. We know the United States as well is in big, big trouble. They've made all kinds of threats and been doing all kinds of secret things behind the scenes to do everything that they can to maintain a presence, right? I want you to really pay attention to how the adversaries of these countries operate. You know, the ancients taught us that we're not supposed to be ignorant of how your adversary moves, right? The reason why you're not supposed to be ignorant of it, so that you can, right? So you can strategize against it so that they don't overtake you. So we can't just turn our head and just say, well, you know, because it's something you wouldn't do, because you wouldn't consider forcing yourself, enslaving someone else, oppressing someone else, colonizing someone else. And then when that person kicks you out, you can't imagine doing weird little things to maintain power, including unaliving folks, including stealing their resources, including all forms of propaganda and lying, whatever you can do to keep your a footprint there, as well as claiming that you're doing goodwill charity work. And in fact, you're just there undercover to undermine the country. That's not our nature. So we don't think like that. But we have to, because we have an adversary that will take us and destroy us if we are not aware, if we're not putting the appropriate strategy to protect against it. Well, here's here's something else to consider in terms of one of the many ways that France is trying to maneuver their way back onto the continent. Now, watch this. Former French general, the title of this headline actually says French general calls for renewed European commitment to Africa. Beloved, it's way worse than that. And I want you to watch this. I'm just going to give you a little background here. General Lecointre, formerly the chief of staff of the French army, fears that Europe is abandoning its responsibility to the continent at a critical time. The Sahel, encompassing countries like Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso, has long grappled with jihadist violence and political instability. Now, family, that first paragraph alone is problematic because this notion that he said he fears that Europe is abandoning its responsibility. No, they told you to get out. Do you see how your open enemy thinks? You tell them to get out, and the way they pitch their invasion back into your country is to start through the media, like this piece, doing interviews with the media and telling them we've abandoned our responsibility. So that's the new talking point, so that when you go in with force and refuse to leave, you just say, I can't abandon my responsibility. The people say, get out. And then you got the French general saying, no, we're abandoning our responsibilities. That's what he called it, in order to justify them usurping the authority of the people there and staying there, even if it requires violence from the French. Let me keep going. It's talking about also the next part says that the rise of new players like Russia and China on the African stage further reinforces Lecointre's belief that Europe must re-engage militarily to defend its interests. No, you don't get to decide that. Do y'all see how this is crazy? He's got to be mentally disturbed. This is not what's happening here. It's not about re-engaging. It's not about you abandoning responsibility. The people say, get out now. They kicked you out. This is the part I want you to really see. Among many other very, very problematic things. Are y'all ready? You may need to buckle up before I say this part, because you are just going to be like, oh my goodness. Because we don't think like these people. Watch this. And this is a quote from Lecointre, former French general. He says the Mediterranean Sea and Africa represent Europe's common destiny. What? Forgive me for screaming. That's that Mississippi coming out. This man is delusional. He is deranged. Who are you talking to, sir? The people in Africa are not sitting in holding meetings telling you this. No, that's not what get out means. That's not what them kicking you out means. That's not what them, revoking former agreements that were predatory means. That was not what the new leadership did when they took over the country and kicked out the former Western puppets. That's not what all that action, those new decrees, that new leadership, the cry from the people from the streets. That's not how you interpret that. Did y'all hear what I said? Listen to what he said. This is a quote from the interview he had. The Mediterranean Sea and Africa represents Europe's common destiny. Lecointre stressed in a recent interview with the YouTube channel of the Le Figaro, a French newspaper, quote, our future is intertwined. That's not, they said it's not. They said it's single. They said they want, it's single, and they said we solo, and they said they want a divorce. That's what they said. It's not intertwined. It's disconnected, not connected. This is what they put out there when they get ready to take over violently. This is like an abusive partner in a relationship that you don't want no more. And they start to stalk you and do little weird stuff. This devil is crazy. I cannot wait to hear what you have to say about this. Of course, you all know I'm going to report the news, because I always want this to be in the consciousness of our people, to let us know this is not the time for you to be sitting up here talking about kumbaya. And I know our brothers and sisters in the Sahil area, in Mali and Burkina Faso, I know that's not who they are, what they are. But this is a lesson for our people in general, here in the United States, as well as around the world, because you think they think like you. I'm not sure how many of you are familiar with the U.S. Foundational Black American famous hip hop artist Kendrick Lamar. He's been getting all kinds of press for his song talking about they not like us. This real. We don't think crazy like that, but we got to ward against it. And we cannot be ignorant, or we just simply give them a whole new foothold to take over our country. Maintain is what I'm trying to tell you all. I'm telling you all to hold the line and continue as you're doing, standing strong against this adversary. My name is Vicki Dillard, beloved. Be sure to check out my website and my wonderful products and services in the Vicki Dillard Mystery School at VickiPlanet.com. That's my website where you can find all kinds of information about me and what I offer. That's VickiPlanet.com, VickiPlanet.com. Of course, share the broadcast here on African Diaspora News Channel. I can't wait to see you again.